Turn your wheel on. Make sure that your clay is stuck to your wheel head, and what I do is I do that by pushing right down here so that this clay is stuck to the bottom of the wheel. So the very first step, there are 5 steps in learning how to throw. The very first step we call centering. And what I'm doing with my hands right now is I am pushing the clay into the middle of this wheel as it turns. I'm pushing with the palm of my right hand inward here, and I'm pushing with the palm of my left hand down. So if you take anything and squeeze it like this, where's it gonna go? It's gonna go right there in the center. So this is a pot that's not on center, and we know because my hand is firm and the clay is not. So do not start before your clay is perfectly centered, and just test yourself by putting your finger there and saying, oh, that's good. Because if you do start and you make this hole and you're not in the center, what's going to happen is that this side of your pot is going to be fat, this side of your pot is going to be thin, because you won't have the same amount of clay all the way around. So we said there are 5 steps. The first is centering, we did that. The second is making this hole. People do it with 2 thumbs. I do it with my longest finger, and I hold the clay with my left hand. Doesn't matter how you make this hole. You want to leave yourself roughly 1 centimeter from the bottom of this wheel head. And then you're going to change hands. Your right hand is going to come on the outside. The third most important part is to open the base of your pot. And remember, we're making a cup, so we're making a cylinder. And as we progress, that cylinder can become a vase, but right now we're just going to make a little mug. Take your right hand. So that was the 3rd step. The 4th step is taking this clay and lifting it up. So I'm going to grab the clay on the outside with my right knuckle, and on the inside exactly 1 centimeter higher. So my hands are going to be like this. They always have to touch each other. Don't forget to have your hands touching each other somewhere, somehow. Grab that clay and lift it up, but not all of it at once. So you will notice my throwing rings are very symmetrical, which means that every time the wheel went around and once, my finger came up about whatever that distance is between those 2. So I'm going to do it again. There's still a lot of clay right here. I'm going to go back down to the bottom. And I'm going to bring it up. You see how much more clay there is? This is the 4th step of our process. The 5th step of our process, once you've lifted all that clay out, is then to create the shape that you want. In this case, I'm not really going for any kind of radical shape, but I can give a couple of different options of what you can do once you've raised your clay and you've made your cylinder. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this clay right here that's at the bottom. That clay doesn't help anybody with anything. It will only get in your way, and you have to trim it away anyway. So just in case there's a little bit of clay left down here at the bottom, my outside hand is being taken over by a wooden rib, and now you have a perfectly made cylinder. Let's see what happens if we just play a little bit with this now, because now it's playtime on the wheel. What happens if we want to make a little belly on our pot? I would take my sponge. First of all, I'm going to take this water out that's down at the bottom of there. And let's push out here, just a little bit. Oh, make a little bit more coffee fit into that. Nice mug. So one of the things you learn over time is something that potters call form and expression. You want your pots to have beautiful form, a lovely expression. Just like looking at somebody who's got a nice smile. You're like, oh, I want that smile. Or you look at a mug or you look at a cup and you think, oh, that's so pretty. What is it that makes it pretty? It's the form and the expression. So, yeah, maybe we want to close this a little bit right here. Just that much. Now, for me, one of the most important things of a mug, because I know that I'm going to be drinking from this, your lovely cup of coffee or your nice hot tea, you want to be able to have this rim be a very, very nice, smooth rim. It's going to be pleasing to your lips. And over time, you're going to find out when your rim is too fat, when your rim is too thin. And I'd say that's a pretty good little mug. So let's just look at it. And, oops, doop. It's a good idea to look at your work. So what I would do when this was dry tomorrow is I would turn it upside down and I would make a little foot right here. And I'll show you that tomorrow, right here. And I would put a little foot here. So this would be the foot of your pot. This would be the indentation in this. So actually your goal is to have evenly spaced walls and something that looks like that. Good luck.